Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're here for an amount of episodes of Princess Tutu. Please look forward to it. We're back, albeit a little bit later in the week, unfortunately. Yeah, kind of real life stuff got in the way yesterday, in an unfortunate way. It was not good. Everyone's fine, but I was an upset little boy, let's put it that way. I was in no state to record, none at all. Therefore, we're behind by a day. Therefore, potentially, if episode 6 by itself is enough, potentially we just say, yeah, it's just going to have to do for this week. But I have been liking the pace of 2, so I'm going to try. We're going to try here and record a couple of episodes here tonight. Best way to start the video is to start the video, of course, with some YouTube comments over here, starting with Pencil Sharp. Now, I believe I knew this piece of information. It came to me in a dream or something. I don't know, but yes, it is Nana Mizuki playing Ru-chan, or Ru, depending on your preference there, which kind of inspired me to go over here and have a little bit of a look. I guess the most relevant to us here today is a prominent role in Nanoha. There we go. Prominent role. I'm not experienced. That's fine. Also a prominent role in Precure, which is kind of all over the place. Yeah, there you go. There's a Precure. But yeah, as Tsubomi Hanasaki, of course. Cure Blossom. Very cool. Also somewhat unfamiliar, that's fine. But do you know what I'm not unfamiliar with? Right down here. Symphogear. Where's Symphogear? There. Yeah, I mean, Tsubasa, she's the best. I don't know what to tell you. There you go, there's the rest of them. That was the OVAs for some reason. Yeah, she's the best. Very good singing voice too, so I wonder if that'll come into it at some point. Obviously, famous as a performer as well. Lots and lots of theme song performances there. She's been everywhere. She's a hugely famous VA. Great job. Brilliant. I love that she's in it. We actually probably have a little bit of a VA theme here because, yeah, we have a couple of, I guess, episodic VAs showing up as well, with Romy Park voicing Giselle in episode 4 and Miyuki Sawashiro voicing the Lamp Spirit in episode 5. I wonder if this trend will continue. Your kind of character of the week gets a somewhat prominent VA as well. In particular, Romy Park is like... It just feels like something they should be in, you know? Yeah, again, if I had more time, I'd go through the whole shebang here and let you know what I mean. But this just makes sense to me. Like, yeah. So much about performance as well. Like on a... Anyway, sure. There's a lot of... You guys should watch Penguin Drum as well. There's lots of stuff going on there. Now, I thought this was intriguing. I'm kind of jumping all over the place between Lazy Joe's comment and Pencil Sharp's, but yeah, so episode 5, each of the episodes is kind of based on a ballet, or at least some kind of similar performance, musical arrangement type thing, where again, instead of the story for this one, because there isn't really one, the story is the real-life story behind it, I guess. So Rimsky-Korsakov's music was inspired by Mussorgsky's pictures, which were some paintings. Do you see where we're going with this? It's kind of like the idea in episode 5 of shining a light upon another person, which again is something that the Lamp Girl does, obviously, but then is very obviously reflected to Ahiru as well. So, fun. Very fun. Hey, I'm like trying to almost shine a light on, you know, Ru-chan and what she's doing and, you know, make her the head person of the story here, but kind of Princess Tutu undercuts that in a weird way too, which makes it all very interesting and complicated. There's this really interesting hierarchy there as it pertains to their relationship with Muto as well. Yeah, it's quite odd. I like what you mean here as well. Like, that's a really cool interpretation for a show that is aimed at children. This one's weird. I don't know, because it's not, though. There's more going on, as we can see, right? It's a very smart kids program. I guess you can say that it isn't for adults in the same way that it what's the word, would alienate children, right, through theming or explicit content or anything else, right? But I get what you mean. It surprises me. It surprises me often, this show, and it's a good surprise. I'm pleasantly surprised by it. And I think testament is to the dynamic between the 4 main characters. Again, with Muto changing all the time, you have 3 other people who are varying levels of smitten with him. Of course, they're going to react and change and do things accordingly. It keeps the story always moving. It's almost very interesting from a you know, like a harem point of view. It's the wrong way to put it, but you know what I mean. It's like a love square. It creates drama, it creates intrigue, particularly here based on the preview and what we saw at the end of last week's episode. We're going to get a lot more Fakir, so look forward to that, I guess. A few other things as well that I just wanted to note. People have specifically told me not to look up what Fakir's name means. Apparently that'll reveal itself in time, or there's a certain point at which I should look that up, so sure, maybe a little bit on the spoilery side. I also just thought I'd mention a comment from the week before's video as well that came up once it went public, which was about the Anteater Arena. And again, her folly in that episode is not trying to dance her best and trying to dance a good way. It's trying to dance like Ruchan, right? That's why Ruchan says what she says. It isn't an outright villainous thing. She isn't being overly protective. She isn't trying to spur on anything else. It's instead, no, you can't dance like me. You'll never be able to dance like me. It's impossible, because everybody has their own dance. Now, she could have explained that, but there's a way more charitable explanation there. And, you know, Ruchan, I guess my read on her from that episode of being kind of villainous and mysterious is a little bit off, because that's not what she was trying to say. Once again, she's very interesting too, because she isn't threatened by Anteater Arena and seeing Muto go around and do that kind of thing, right? Because that's normal. What she's threatened by and what she's scared about is Muto gaining these emotions and potentially not liking her on his own terms. That's what's scary to her, right? She doesn't care if he's being controlled by some of the party. She's scared that he's uncontrollable. Yeah, interesting interpretation there too, of course. But anyway, I'm rambling. I need to get a move on here. Let's shout out the Patreon. So, hey, if you wanted to be there 1 week ahead and see episodes 1 week early, Patreon is linked in the description below. It'll be $6 a month to get that access. A couple other tiers there, of course, as well. Just give it a look. I would appreciate it. And a very big thank you to people that have, such as Sean, AJ, Akumansa, Bananarama Hamadama-sama, Capella, Chibaribi, Dapper Dwarf, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Hans Peter, Ika, Yako Yavnen, Joran, Kasogtha, Clem, Lick H, Lou, Master Detective, Matthew Bratcher, Mickey Babbers, Miru, Mistake L. Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Parnick, Pencil Shop 333, Pointed Snowdrop, Ron Light B&K, St. Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Skeleton, Tentacle Member, Waifu Overdose, Without a Net, Binchi, Jummy Boo, Kelvin, Haito138641, Aussie, and Eden O'Brien. Thank you very much for giving me money, everybody. I enjoy the money. So, Princess Tutu, it's kind of an episodic show, but there's a few things going on, big picture-wise, of course, as well. There's a big old love conundrum involving all of our main characters and Muto-senpai, with Ruchan being in the lead for now, but again, Princess Tutu adding all these emotions at all these points in time. Ahiru, Princess Tutu, what's the difference there? The dichotomy, it's crazy. I guess our big lead is that Fakir seems big mad, and he seems like he's now sure that, you know, at least Ruchan, but most certainly Ahiru is involved in this business whereby we're getting his emotions back. She knows the story. She keeps pushing him in a certain direction. We're probably not going to like that. Fakir's probably going to move in on Ahiru and try to figure some stuff out. It's probably our general lead-in, I guess, but I'm going to stop dilly-dallying and jump right into episode 6. Episode 6, let's do that. And there we have it, folks. Episode 6 up there ready to go. 23 minutes and 56 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. I have my monitor back as well, which is nice. I'm happy about that, so 2 thumbs up, of course. I have the official stuff, Blu-ray version. Get that version if you want to sync up your own. If not, there's a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure. Let's give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. Candle. Eternal sleep. Like Sleeping Beauty again? Mm-hmm. Interesting. Does she even want to be saved? Should I be the cure? That's interesting. I mean, I see how that applies to a story that I'm familiar with, of course. It's a subversion on Sleeping Beauty, among other things. Snow White, as well. Both involve heroines there that are asleep, right? Snow White eats the apple and it's true love's kiss. And then, Aurora pricks her finger, I think. Anyway. What if she's peaceful? What if she does not want to be awakened? What if she doesn't want to be saved? What if she doesn't want to be saved by you? I guess we'll see where we take that. I don't know. I do like an opening that's a little bit more calm as well. It's just very pretty, very dainty. Respects my attention span. I think anime openings have a reputation of being a little bit over the top. So seeing something a little bit quiet is nice. It's very misty. Thoughts? Prince? How about some pants? I wonder, what do I think of you? Choo-choo? That's how it... Yeah, that's how being a human works, generally. Kiss. With the lamp, too. Oh yeah, that whole confrontation with Fakir, of course. Are you going to see the two of them? I like a head entering frame there. Yeah. Don't fall. Hey, Quacken kinda... I was about to say it saved her, but no. Ducks can't fly, right? Can they? Dreaming Aurora. Yeah, I do remember that. That's, yeah, Sleeping Beauty again, I think. Gekidan. Eleki Troop. Okay. New character. A performance of Sleeping Beauty. She's kind of cunty. I like her. Yeah, she's great. Hell yeah. Wonder how Rue's gonna react. Eleki? Just like a snail. Ano ito? Ooh. Protection. They're like the parents. She got punted like a football. What? Oh, it's you. Paola Moni. The eyes. What's he wearing? Oh, he's like a super fan. Husband. She's not gay? What's the point? What the fuck is happening with the lighting? Now, very notably, when she was held by Paola Moni, or whatever her name was, there wasn't a fucking thingo. Also, there's an electric eel? There wasn't a heart shard or whatever. Yeah, big Utena vibes right now. Just random animals. Is there any other performers, or is it just you? Or... Use your head, buddy. She wishes. Where's the lighting? Why'd she get... She kind of got cold feet almost. It's like Angel on the shoulder. Oh, animation's great. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, so there was one. Did it... Is it something about the stage, maybe? Nervousness is the emotion, then? Rosebook. So there's a lot riding on this for you, personally. Okay. Bit isolated. Hairy arms. He actually cares. He's actually chill as. Little guy in the back. We fuck with the husband, for sure. Wait, she's selling gems? You're weird too. Just like Ronald McDonald. Huh. You've almost relegated yourself into it, you know? Resigned. Oh, it's the story. Yep. Little bit. We can't be completely self-sacrificial. She's cute. Yeah, no, yeah, you can't just work entirely for somebody other than yourself and be totally self-sacrificial. Like, it feels like she's in a little bit of denial almost. Is he naked? Okay, so you're under the false pretense. Okay. Well, she is the main character, yeah. Ooh, yeah, good point. Okay, don't be weird. Well, that's how age works, yeah. Interesting. His name's Polo? I'm coming around on the cat. I think the cat's very funny. The sound effects, man. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, yeah, you're testing stuff. Oh. I forgot that they danced this episode, even though I knew that from the preview. Evil eel? Okay. Seems fine. He's very nonchalant. I don't think you two are supposed to be in conflict while dancing like this. Well, don't flap your wings too hard now. It certainly is individualistic. I'll give you that. Oh, look at her. She's very spry. It's not that way. This one's going to be a very, very interesting one to analyze. Isn't the whole thing that he's like nervousness? Embarrassment? Shyness? Stage fright? It's only natural he would run. Fear, even? Interesting. Few interesting things happened there, actually. Look how fast... Listen to the steps. Damn. And then I turned into a duck. Oh, this is very dramatic. A couple more interesting things happening here, too. She broke a leg? Well, returning somebody's emotions isn't all happy-go-lucky all the time. It's easy... I'll let him finish. It's easy to sit into this role that she's sitting in right now with, you know, Rue being with him and her just being this person off to the side, cheering him on, making him happy, being all self-sacrificial, if something ultimately good is happening to him, right? But are you willing and able to do this if it's going to make him sad? Well, here's the thing, it's not going to be happy or sad, it's going to be the full spectrum of everything, right? I don't know. Yeah. I guess that end of the episode stands to challenge a few things that the audience is considering. One, again, that this is a net good thing happening to Muto every single time. And the other one is Fakir and his motivations. It's easy to look at him and go, he's bad, he's mean and stuff. It was pretty sympathetic right there to Muto, with no audience, nobody else watching. It just seems like he really wants the best for him. And again, when it's like, stay away from him, I want to protect him, blah, 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 you don't need this stuff. That's what he means, because this is the negative stuff happening. This is what he sees happening from the stuff with Tutu. He's in the background there, I never noticed that either. Yeah, fascinating episode, yeah. Lots of directions you can take it, lots of analysis to be had. And I'm really umming and ahhing about a second, but I guess you'll say. I guess I do one more. Why not? I'm here. Let's do it. Radio episode 7 up there, ready to go. 23 minutes and 56 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. Again, I have the official stuff. There's a picture-in-picture version in the description below. Let's give it a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. There was a child. Questioning. Discovery. Two to four to countless, true. Logarithmic. Not much to go off there. Just, there was a kid, there was some toys and stuff in the visual element to it. And yeah, there was just lots of mysteries and things to learn as you grow up. That's the number one word you want your kids to be saying when they're, you know, starting to talk and, yeah, when they're like, you know, 3, 4, 5 years old. Why? Why is a great word. Question things. It's a good way to learn. I should do it more now. I don't do it enough. But I mean, obviously that's applying to Muto, or at least in some way. The feeling of curiosity. Each of these, like, heart shards or emotions is a new thing that he's experiencing. He kind of, like, is a child, right? Gaining all these things for the first time. Well, first time, gaining them back. Yeah. So Tutu, if I can speak, didn't really have that much of a role in the previous episode, so it'll be interesting to see if we get another, like, actual character that she's going to converse with and convince and bring in. But I don't know, I mean, Ahiru has to do some soul searching here In the short term, yeah. Look at this. This is like a nightmare. Evil Tutu. So a lot of power with the Tutu stuff, huh? I mean, some people are into that. The Crow Princess is a very interesting title. In opposition to. That can't be a good night's sleep. I'm afraid that Princess Tutu's gonna come to school and beat me up. Send help. A week? Okay, a week's a long time. What the fuck? Chihuahua student? Sasuga? No. Succinct. Ooh. Well, have you marry me? What? She's not herself. He's got like meme eyes from like 2016. What? I don't want to do anything with you, man. You're a cat. And also a teacher. But I guess she's just a duck. Dunno. You seem so sad about it. Normally you're kinda dumb. What's wrong? It's not what I'm talking about. Lily, please. What? The Wai Bridge? The Bye-Bye Man? Ooh, yeah. Questions. It sounds kind of scary. Sounds kind of like therapy. Why try to scare her? Well, in this town where fiction and reality blend. What do you mean, probably? Alright, he got me in the end. That's pretty funny. She's just very cute, too. They animate her very well. Look, she's so determined. Well, potentially less so. Oh. She has tons of things she's unsure about. Interesting. This is very interesting. Being very direct. But will he love you? A lot of confidence. But we know that she's a very insecure character. Ooh. Hellfire. Jesus. Princess Tutu is like the scariest thing I've seen in my entire life. Where are they? They're in like a barn. We're in the safe house. Hmm. So what are you gonna do? I won't let it end here. I mean, you're right. You got to write something to. What the fuck? Whoa. Time stopped? The Bye-Bye Man? Indeed. Well, yeah, he was meant to be dead last time, too. No, not quite. Yeah, but if that's better for him, I'm able to do that. Oh. Okay. He's flailing out there, man. He's doing such a bad job. Drosselmeyer. I'll leave the rest to you? He threw? Like him humming. It's cute. I'll leave the rest to you. Just Ahiru? He's doing therapy, folks. Okay, didn't work. River Portal? Oh, he's cool. Hell yeah. Okay. Raven. Ooh. It's like a fucking underground zone. Story did it. If only I had the gem. It's a very pretty scene. Where are we? I thought we were a little bit early. Just a little bit. Ooh, this is very pretty. Well, by definition, he would be. We won? Where's this raven? It's episode 7. Come on now. You can't trick me. So if you were to go... Yeah. Okay. That's a genuine request. Motherfucker, she's about to murder you? What? I'm like scared. What's happening? My emotion got stolen? But I fucking needed that. I know this song. I don't know her, though. Pardon? Bless you? Dance battle? It's all happening. Where did he fucking go? I need him. He got kidnapped by an evil bird. And you seem aware too. Interesting. I'll leave it up to you, huh? Very interesting. Okay. I wish I didn't do 2, man. There's going to be a ton to say about episode 7 too. I'm going to have to cook. Jeez. So much meta stuff. The meta stuff is what really fascinates me about that ending. Because, again, I think my first instinct was to associate Ruin the Raven. Which, now that's happening. Drosselmeyer's intervention is the very interesting part. Like, the story itself was almost grinding to a halt. The gears weren't turning anymore. I had to just drop something else in to grease them up a little bit, right? Relying on Old Faithful, relying on that, you know, that character from the story I was writing all that time ago, you know? Makes you think back to that Raven in episode 1 as well. Potentially that was another convenience of Drosselmeyer, you know? The Raven that attacked the birds? That influenced Muto to do what he did? And influenced her to go full Princess Tutu mode, you know? We need something else here that's going to make her want to keep being Tutu and finish this damn story. That's what it's all about. And that's only one level. There's a heap of other ways to analyze whatever the hell we saw. Thoroughly impressed. Very, very good episode once again. How about next? That's intriguing. Yo! It's all happening next week, too. The Warrior's Fountain. Romeo and Juliet. Or Romeo and Julia. Okay, so you'll see me in a moment for some analysis, but it's going to come with the caveat that this video is going to be late because I want to do a good job, and clearly I'm not going to be doing a good job at 10 o'clock at night when I'm recording this. So I can't just keep going now. It's got to be a tomorrow job, and everything's just going to be a delayed a day this week. And we're going to need to catch up on the weekend. Okay, that's fine. Shit. Okay, we'll figure it out. That's fine. You'll see me shortly. And we're back. It's the next day. 2 more episodes of Tutu in the book. I don't know if I should have did Tutu episodes, but I did. And now we're here. We're trying to analyze them because they were 2 pretty big episodes, right? I kind of I don't know. I bet a little bit after episode 6. I'm like, episode 7 won't be a big one. It won't be, you know, earth-shattering to the status quo at all. It was a huge one. It was yeah, it was a swing that I didn't expect the show to do, at least now anyway. I thought we'd run into a rhythm of a few more episodic stories before doing some more big picture stuff, but as it turns out, after the events of episode 6, a lot of stuff ground to kind of a halt, plot momentum wise. Like Tutu. Ahiru didn't want to do it anymore, man. So then Drosselmeyer, and I'm kind of rescinding some of my stuff saying Drosselmeyer isn't entirely villainous from before. I may have been incorrect there. Drosselmeyer has inserted something into the story to get it back going again. And it's Old Faithful. It's the same thing that he inserted many times ago as the original conflict. He's put the Raven where it's supposed to be, I guess. Yeah, and kind of used Rue in that in a very cool way. As a result, we've kind of created almost an antagonistic alter ego for Rue, whereby it seems like she doesn't know what's going on or what's overtaking her, but there may be some portion of her psyche that does want to go in that direction too. There's a very definite split in the character now between, again, a character, her name's like Princess something. The Raven Princess, the Crow Princess. There's a very definite split between her and her personality normally, that being Rue, and this new persona. It's meant to mirror Ahiru and her persona as Princess Tutu. In a lot of ways, they're polar opposites from one another. Ahiru, just a dark Princess Tutu, a swan. All things to everybody. Super protagonist, superpowers, best dancer, amazing. Where again, it feels like this Crow Princess type idea is kind of channeling these negative emotions that Rue has into something outright antagonistic. I don't know, again, it's not reinventing anything. It's really cool though. I like it whenever it happens. I don't know. You gotta love like an evil magical girl. That's some top tier shit. And I mean, that's not even scratching the surface. There's a ton of interesting Fakir stuff here as well. He probably comes off a little bit more charitably through the events, just ultimately so protective of Muto. And with reason, right? Now Ahiru sees the other side. He sees what Fakir was warning about, at least a little bit, what he didn't want to happen in all of this. And his protective tendencies, him like taking time out of school and just kind of helping him off to the side in that barn for a bit. I don't know, it did a lot to endear him to me in a way that he wasn't before. He was just kind of a bit of an asshole, but I don't know, I'm coming around there a little bit. Constantly kind of fluctuating opinions on all of my main cast, really. And once again, that's not even talking about the episodic stories within the episodes themselves. Like, I think the stuff with Paulamoni was her name, is quite interesting. Again, we'll talk about it in reference to some of the Sleeping Beauty stuff as well. That's a very broad metaphor that applies to a lot of things in this episode. But the river that kind of reflects your own thoughts back at you is a very interesting adversary as well. Its interactions with Muto, its implied interactions with Ru, and its interactions with Ahiro are all fascinating. They're fascinating to me. I feel like this was the episode we like upped the depth a little bit. The show is again, it's not quite reaching those Utana areas, but it's reaching for them, I guess. Like it's I don't know, you reach for the stars. If you fall, you land on the clouds. I think we're in the clouds right now, which is a good place to be. A bit of ambition shown by the show in this 2-episode chunk. But again, like always, I'm bereft of time, so let's get a move on here. Let's start chug-a-lugging. Yeah, they were very good. I really want to get that across. I thoroughly enjoyed yesterday's session. So I guess we'll dive right in here. This episode, well, it has a name, but the play it's named after, again, is Sleeping Beauty, specifically the prologue. Now, we've done that previously. Again, Princess pricks her finger on some kind of sewing apparatus, I forget. This curses her to eternal sleep. She wakes from true love's kiss. It's pretty classic old stuff. What we're doing here is a little bit of a subversion. Hey, what if the sleep was actually really peaceful and quite nice, and this kind of numbed, almost fugue state that she's in, and awakening her is only, helping her to experience all of life's tragedies and all the terrible things it holds for us. Almost very existential there, almost nihilistic is the view of almost like existence. Like, existence is pain, so why should I perpetuate it? Is it a cruel thing to do to make somebody wake up from such a peaceful, almost like neutral state and make them experience all the highs and lows? Specifically the lows, because they're going to feel like shit. So very obviously in the episode this ties into Muto, like that's the most obvious link. He is continuing to awake from his slumber, right? He's currently Sleeping Beauty. He's in the process of waking up. And he's hating it. Like, by the end there, he gets this emotion and he's screaming. He hates it. Ahiro is then faced with the question, was it a good thing for me to do this? Was saving him, was getting the emotion there the best thing for him? Now, again, that question's kind of answered by the end of episode 7, but it's, it's food for thought in the meantime, I guess. Like, it's cool. Also, like some of the subversion stuff there too. Again, our prototypical prince is now taking on the role of Sleeping Beauty. That's something there. I like that. I also think the Sleeping Beauty thing applies to Ahiro. There's a lot of stuff about her potentially this all being a dream, or the duck stuff's a dream, or Drosselmeyer's a dream, or yeah, we're blending the line between fiction and reality, between dream and reality pretty often. So should we wake her up from this dream? That would be the Tutu experience, right? Should we wake Ahiro up from such a thing and just let her live a normal life, or should we let her keep pursuing Tutu? Like, that's the choice that she's faced with during episode 7 as well, and ultimately chooses to keep with the Tutu stuff. Now, we're going to have to reread on Paulamoni, but I thought her thing was mainly that she almost thinks that she's lost the spark that she had very early on, or that inspired her early on too, and now she's looking to get it back. Like, potentially she was awakened from her own dreams, however naive they were, and awakened to reality, to the point where she doesn't like it anymore. She wishes she was still just a dreaming little girl that didn't have to worry about all this other adult stuff. Like, I feel like that fits in quite well as well, so again, that's the intertextuality angle here, I guess. It's quite well done. And I mean, again, you apply it as you like. You could probably apply it to many myriad other characters as well. Like what is Edel doing? Who is Edel? Is that involved here? Is she a Sleeping Beauty of some kind? It's hard to say. This episode here is hot off the trail of the previous one. Very obviously so, because she's still got the lamp. she wants to, again, illuminate Muto-senpai and all the other things he's about. Again, and she couldn't even sleep that she was thinking about it so hard. Right now she's dreaming, or potentially the lack thereof. She's, you know, she's staying awake in like a hopeful way, but she's almost having nightmares by the very end. That's what I wanted to get across. Like, both episodes are kind of bookended, or both kind of start with her in bed experiencing some kind of, you know, insomnia-based ailment. Here she's overly excited and overthinking things and blah, blah, blah. It's a little bit more positive than it is in episode 7, is my point. Once again, with the Sleeping Beauty thing, the lack of sleep here is also very pointed. She is currently not dreaming, right? She's in reality. She's doing her thing, right? And through the course of experiencing this reality, something bad befalls her. She has a bad experience by the end of the episode. She does something bad, quote unquote, to somebody else. Would she have been better off just sleeping instead? I guess these opening scenes are just really re-establishing character motivations off the end of episode 5, I think it was. You're resolute that he needs a heart, something that you exclaimed previously, very cool. Fakir is noticing that Muto is changing more and more. Muto is getting more and more confused. Fakir is going to double down on the protective shtick. But resolute is our hero to give him his heart anyway, no matter what the evil Fakir is plotting. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. We have our episodic character here in the Aleki troupe, and that being Polemoni, of course, the brilliant lead of said troupe. I was thinking potentially we were going to do some Takarazuka review stuff with this. Potentially it's still there somewhere, but no, there's like blokes, like old mates, like a husband, so not exactly the way we took it. Once again, rewatching Oran High School Host Club again, and there's a very, very, very obvious Takarazuka review stand-in set of characters, which I didn't notice on my first watch through, but have since been educated. So yeah, I mean, it was on the mind, I guess. Not really the direction we go with it. Like, I thought that she was going to be all masculine and cool and stuff, but yeah, she's still cool. She's just, we didn't go in that direction. That's fine. This is the episodic shout-out of the character animation being quite funny and well-placed, and the comedy being on point. It's all there. It's brilliant. Goes without saying sometimes. We've got bigger fish to fry here, I guess. Once again, it works great for pacing of episodes as well. Just a little comedic interstitial there, like as we're establishing Aleki troupe and what we're going to be doing in the rest of the episode, just a bit of Ahiru goofiness. I don't know, it fits in nicely. Just, you know, you're oscillating through the episode. It's not just all downers all the time. There's some fun stuff. In that same way, PK and Lily are still fantastic. Just brilliant touches of animation all over the place. They look very funny. It's a very pausable show. It's a very screenshotable show for sure. Like, I mean, just I'm gonna do it. Like, look at it all. It's just brilliant. It makes you smile. It puts a smile on your dial. Ahiru gets all flustered here, trips over and falls into the arm of Polemoni, who mentions that she's a energetic student. Genki, I believe, is the word that she uses. Very true. This is the start of their interactions in the episode. Inadvertently, you're doing a lot of inspiration for Polemoni, which I think is quite interesting. The Neko-sensei dynamic is also just hilarious and worthy of shouting out. He's just head over heels for her, a massive fan. Obviously, again, he's gone into teaching, she's gone into performance, and he's just smitten as a kitten, maybe. And yeah, I think the interactions are very funny. I like them a lot. He's growing on me quite a bit. He's a very fun comedic character. I wonder if we'll ever do him in some more detail and integrate him into the plot, or will he be like the side characters and seemingly kind of be relegated to their own thing off to the side? We kind of got 4 main characters as well as Edel and Drosselmeyer and those freaks, so I wonder if any of them will ever get kind of upgraded or have an episode where they're super involved. Don't know about the Hawaiian shirt to the theater though, that's just... Anyway, his dreams get crushed here because she has a husband. Did I mention that the troop leader is also an electric eel who also runs the electricity for the stage? And that's why they're called Aleki Troop? Like, that's... No notes. It's brilliant. That's... once again, very Utana, just this animal-based non sequitur. Love it. Oh, this is fun. I missed this. The husband here questions if our kind of troop leader was always an eel. And then it's like, well, since we came to this town, he's kind of been an eel, but that can't be right. There's the town. It's the town. It's where fiction and reality blend, and things aren't quite what they seem. It's almost like it's had an effect here upon entering. Potentially, when you exit said town, you know, he's going to go back to normal and be like a normal human again. I don't know. That's fascinating to me, and goes to show a level of, I guess, control that the author, quote unquote, has on the town as well. This seems to be some Drosselmeyer blending of fiction and reality BS. So I don't know, just, again, whenever we see a character such as, you know, Neko Sensei or Auntie Dorina, just maybe think that there could be a real-life human counterpart. A couple of interesting things happen here very quickly. We see Fakir, and he looks over to the crowd, not really focused on the performance, and ponders if Ru is Princess Tutu. This will inform some of his actions later in the episode, which is under the assumption that Ru is Princess Tutu, and I don't want Muto and Ru to be involved at all. And it comes with the proviso that we're allowing Muto to even go to this thing as long as he doesn't talk to Ru or obey Ru or do any of that stuff, right? Psych, you fell for the wrong girl. It's not Ru. It is Ahiru. I guess it goes to show that, again, when you're that plain and normal, you kind of blend into the background. Like, Fakir's like, it couldn't possibly be her. And I guess that also puts to bed some of my broad theory stuff as well around Ru and Fakir being kind of in cahoots. That's not really what's going on either. The other thing here would be the obvious lighting on the stage and the change in Palamoni. It is the emotion of Muto, I guess, inhabiting the stage. And that emotion is kind of like nervousness and like sadness and trepidation. I guess second thoughts personified, because that's a more concrete definition as it pertains to Palamoni, who is kind of getting second thoughts about performing even at all, right? She kind of just wants to call it. But as always, it seems like we've attached onto an emotion that did exist. She did feel this way. We've just kind of exacerbated it, and, you know, this is the result. She's way more stressed about it now. Look at that frame. That's very funny to me. Anyway, now that we know a little bit more about Palamoni, on the rewatch, this becomes very obvious. She stops in the middle of the performance after getting second thoughts and picks the most wide-eyed, like, innocent student that we have to come up and perform. The person with the most, like, sauce? I don't know, words kind of escape me. She's got the most, like, verve for it, I guess, and the, you know, that youthful exuberance that potentially Palamoni is lacking right now. I want to see an example of that playing out in front of me as almost like inspiration, something to bring me back up from the brink. Either way, Ahiru says no. I love the contrasting reactions here too. Like, clearly again, Neko Sensei wanted Ru to be involved, the best dancer in the class. You've picked arguably the worst. Like, what are you doing? Good reaction faces here too. Love to see it. In here with Palamoni now. I always get nervous when I'm up on stage, but never like this. I fell in love with that Princess Aurora I saw when I was a child. So explicit links into Sleeping Beauty. She seemed to still be dreaming even when she was awake. I wanted to become like that someday. So I danced the part of Aurora. I'd begun to be aware that it was no use no matter how I polished my technique. Because I wasn't born with the same talent, I was never going to succeed the same way that she did. No matter how depressed I was, I'd never felt like this before. It's almost a little bit of like imposter syndrome. Like I've got this almost perfect image of this performance in my head that I saw during my youth. Of course, it inspired me to want to be the same, to continue dreaming forever. But as I grow up, I'm, you know, increasingly unsure of myself and nervous on stage. And again, the performance I saw never got across any of that. It's interesting that you almost pick up this odd feeling from Ahiru, right? Because it's the Princess Tutu stuff. Like, hey, you've got this fearlessness almost that comes with youth, and I wanted to almost see that once again to inspire me. Again, the irony being that she doesn't know that one of Ahiru's major character beats is imposter syndrome. She thinks that Tutu's so perfect that she's just a duck, you know? So again, seeing this lauded professional, like best dancer in a troupe, like professional at this shit, still look for her or look to her for inspiration, like that's got to feel a little bit odd. I just think it's all it's fitting quite well. I like this, it's probably one of my favorite like episodic characters. I'm feeling the sentiment. And it's interesting, I felt like we were going in a direction where the husband was going to be a little bit clueless and not really, again, tap into your real worries and how you're really feeling and be a little bit emotionally stunted there. But he comes around, he's chill as. Again, this frame here, like the number one feeling you get is like isolation and like almost like like crawling into a corner, like turning away. It's interesting that none of this really pays off in a big way. The husband just kind of picks up on the cues and it all ends up just fine. Like, he's a cool guy. I like that guy. Once again, putting on a brave face on stage, but as soon as you go down behind it into the, you know, dressing rooms, I guess, it's all very cramped. It's all very different. It's all cluttered. It's dark in a corner. It's very different. And that's what's happening behind the scenes in her own mind as well, you know? Yeah, immediately, he's just like, do you want to postpone opening day? Like, clearly you're not feeling okay. And then she's like, no, I'm okay. I can do it. I can handle it. Sneaky blink and you'll miss it Muto in the background as well, still influencing her emotions. And again, she's still worried. She's putting on a brave face, you know. Now, what is this Edel selling gems thing? I forget the payoff here. I mean, I know the payoff next episode is that she's the one that hands Ahiru the gem once again, so maybe it's just set up for that. Like, oh, I'm selling gems in this episode, so it becomes natural when I just hand her the gem again in the following episode. But I mean, that also speaks to a level of involvement with Drosselmeyer, no? It's almost like you were there at the perfect spot to give her the thing to keep propelling the plot. Suspicious. I don't know. Once again, you confuse me a lot. You intrigue me, Edel. I don't really understand. A couple of things here. I like that at a certain point in the conversation here, Edel stops playing the music, her almost theme song at this point. Like, hey, it's almost like the dream cuts out and we go back to reality. You know, it's like playful tune cuts and we say some real shit, you know. And once again, like previous episodes, she's just going to say some kind of cryptic stuff that somewhat relates to the story or the, you know, the thing being got at in the episode, i.e. the Sleeping Beauty, is it better to be asleep or awake type thing that we've been discussing. The question posed here by Ahiru is, hey, it's sad for, you know, Muto to be so emotionless and not understand what love is when Ru loves him so much. It's sad that he can never reciprocate that emotion if we don't get these emotions back. And she hits the nail on the head here, right? Is it sad for Muto that Muto doesn't have, you know, love, doesn't have that emotion? Or is it sad for Muto that he's getting them back? Think about that maybe. Is it sad for Ru because her feelings will never get reciprocated? Or is it sad for you, who clearly is in love with Muto as well and will never be able to pursue it? Again, it's almost you've been deemed in the story a certain way as a certain character that doesn't get certain things, and, you know, is that sad for you too? You're almost in a box devoid of certain emotions in the same way that Muto is, you know? Like a little bit. Or is it sad for Fakir? Fakir's sad too. He's seeing this boy that's clearly very important to him become like a sad boy. When I've been so protective of him for so very long, very parental. So like, I'm seeing something bad happen to my boy. That sucks. Oh yeah, we also do a very fun joke with the names of the gems too. So yeah. But I mean, the gem she holds up is named Dream. Is it better to be, you know, continue to slumber and experience the dream, or to wake up from the dream? What's a better outcome there? Comedy's once again on point, and the animation's great. Posing's great. Lovely. Well storyboarded. It's all great. Anyway, just continuing this general feeling of Ahiru being in denial about her own feelings and how frustrated that makes her, and, you know, I'm going to be happy for Ruchan and I'm going to shine this light. We're going to say, seems like cope to me. I don't know, it ends with you falling and dying, so, you know, ominous. The omens aren't good. So question, why does Fakir even allow Muto to go to the ballet at all? I think it's because he likes him. And he wants to do good things for Muto, and he likes to see him at least a little bit happy and a little bit smiley. But again, all this is on the proviso that you don't talk to Ru, who we suspect is Princess Tutu at this time. Like, because, yeah, after that, like, thank you, right? And that face, too. He's all very, almost, like, embarrassed, and, yeah. But another interpretation could be that I'm seeing you portray emotion, and that also makes me upset. So maybe it's genuinely being upset and not, like, a cute kind of upset. I don't know, we're blurring the line there maybe. Back with Paul Amoni now, looking at her book, obviously contemplating things that evening at the fire, lamenting the fact that it seems that Ahiru has this innate thing that I think that I just don't have. And this is when the husband says something very interesting, right? I think that it looks like Ahiru's dreaming and that she's in love. Well, the dreaming thing we've talked about, she's Tutu. Is she just a bird that's having this dream? It's all up in the air. It's all a little bit airy-fairy. Also in love, you've absolutely clocked her there. She's in love with Muto, even if she won't admit it. Well, it's not that she won't admit it, that she won't pursue it, because she doesn't think it's her role. But here's the kicker, right? I know that she's these things because she reminds me of you when you were younger. I love her reaction here. The face is wonderful. She's straight on the defensive a little bit, like, oh, it can't be that way. No, preposterous. I couldn't have been like that. I've already awoken from my dream, and it's something that you must wake from. This is almost attaching into some Peter Pan areas. It's almost like as you wake up, you begin to like dream less, and you don't believe in fairies and all this other kind of stuff, and that's inherently kind of sad, at least a little bit. Like you almost lose that ability. You lose that magic as you grow, like a little bit. I don't know, but food for thought. And we say it bluntly here, you can't be Aurora right now because the Aurora that you aspire to be is somebody that continues to dream. If you've lost that for whatever reason, then we need to move on to other stuff. It's basically just a big metaphor for her recapturing that childhood spark, right? You were inspired by an Aurora that kept on dreaming even after she woke up. You say that you've woken up from your dream. What's stopping you from dreaming once again? And what's stopping you from having more than one dream too? I've got a dream of us traveling the world together, performing and putting smiles on people's faces. So hey, jump on the bandwagon of my dream maybe as well. Like, we can still keep doing this Aurora thing if you really want to, but we can also do this thing. And if that makes you happier, if that's a different kind of dream that inspires you a little bit more, that is a little bit less daunting than the one you're experiencing right now, then maybe we should just do it. Fuck it. And this is very sweet too. I'm a long way from waking from my dream or my love, Yeah, because again, she's dreaming and she's in love. I almost look in the mirror and see that in myself every day. That's how I know. But his name is Paolo. I don't... Paolo and Paulamoni, I don't... No. Nuh-uh. One of you's going to have to change your name. I don't know who, but one of you. And there we have it. We have... Paulamoni the next day performing a fantastic Aurora in this, I believe this is like a final rehearsal or something. Again, we got all the fangirls happy up here, so that's all nice. As that's happening, we have Rue contemplating the previous night's events with, the whole bonfire and the dance and the smile on Muto's face. Was that because of Tutu? Was that because of me? Was it somewhere in between? This insecurity is going to be built upon for the next episode. It's important to note here at this juncture. Paulamoni seeks a bit of closure here, so we do want to see, again, Ahiru dance just a little bit and see what the difference there is. Much to the disgust of Neko-sensei as well, I might add, but, she's up here. And she ends up dancing with Fakir, which is quite an odd decision. The cat and mouse game between Rue and Fakir here is quite pronounced too. Rue wants Muto to go up and be the partner. Again, almost doing a couple of things here. One, she's testing Muto to see if he's gaining these more emotions and if he'll still keep listening to her and be all subservient and whatever, and say I love you on command and all that jazz. But I'm also testing Ahiru, right? I'm a little bit suspicious still between those two, and I want to see what the vibe's like, But then Fakir's like, hey, no, I suspect Rue. Anything that Rue wants to do, I don't want him to do. So I'm willing and able to sacrifice myself, all prince-like, to go up there and be the partner for Ahiru. Which, again, kind of makes nobody happy, but I don't know, we did it. Oh, that's fun. The electric eel, powers up upon seeing Ahiru. Again, maybe it's this innate quality that we keep talking about. The troop leader has a good eye for things, such as you two, as well. You can spot this, presence and this, this special something from a long way out. And I mean, Fakir doesn't miss a beat. He's a very good dancer and uses this as an opportunity to be all territorial around Muto again. I mean, they keep it together. The dance doesn't go awry, I guess, but, they're fighting over the same boy. It's kind of something. I did feel like this was a little bit rushed, this Paulamoni little number. Because she looks at, Ahiru, and she's like, oh, okay, individuality, that's what I was missing. I was trying to replicate somebody a little bit too much and didn't look for my own special something. That's an interpretation there, I guess, but it all happens very quickly before she's off and racing to, get the next heart shot or whatever the hell. I guess upon seeing her kind of act like a duck, there's something in that, her fluttering through the air and posing kind of awkwardly, and that being the thing that inspires the adult Paulamoni to continue to dream and pursue this next thing. It wasn't the perfect rendition of the perfect performance of the play or whatever. It was, the perfect ballet dance, the perfect pas de deux or whatever the hell. It was instead Ahiru's own unique charm. And her own unique duck charm too. Nothing about Tutu there. So again, maybe it'll reveal more on a rewatch how important this little interaction was, but yeah, it's a little bit better than I thought it was, put it that way. It's hardly elegant, but overflowing with her own individuality. Yeah, we'll see as this, Tutu versus Ahiru thing comes a little bit more to the fore, and which one she internally values. Because again, we've got an external opinion here. She values Ahiru more than Tutu, She's just adorable too. Look at her hop up and just straight into the run, and then she's going to run after Muto, of course. Just brilliant. Here's where we transform into Tutu as well and try to chase him down. Knowing the events of the rest of the episode, this takes on somewhat of a sinister tone. It's almost like our antagonist, quote-unquote, is chasing down the innocent emotion of Muto and trying to return it to the body, something which he ultimately doesn't like. We're doing something bad to Muto. Of course, that's terrible. It's interesting how it's reframed upon seeing the ending. Like, this pursuit here, it's almost like scary, Like, he keeps trying to run away and we trap him, and now we've cornered him on a rooftop. Like, he's not that jazzed about it. And I forgot this too. Forceful and afraid and like cornered to the point of grabbing a sword and lashing out against Tutu. Almost again, because it's fear and nerves and second guessing and all sorts of stuff involved here emotionally. Him being scared of awakening from the dream to the point of lashing out and brandishing a weapon against Tutu. That's very interesting. Normally that's something that the prince would reserve only for the Raven. The antagonist there. And again, Tutu doesn't second guess anything, despite, again, it ending up like this. She's like, oh well, go back to Muto. And then disaster strikes. Of course it did. He doesn't seem that jazzed about this whole thing, man. And yeah, we come back down, Muto's hooting and hollering, Fakir saves the day, and we feel pretty terrible about what we did. Oh no. I quite like Ahiru returning to the duck form here too. I just think, again, the grand contrast between Tutu doing something that she thinks is kind of magnanimous to me losing all that confidence and becoming the duck again is, yeah, I like that as a choice. And yeah, this is when he expresses fear at Tutu. Again, I'll say the same thing I said during the ED, during the reaction, right? It's all fun and games when returning emotions to the guy makes him all happy and loving and he's his heart's opening up and stuff, and it's pretty butterflies and whatever else the hell, you know what I'm saying there. It's all sunshine and rainbows. But that's not the full spectrum of emotions. There's bad things too. Are you going to feel okay about doing this and not getting anything in return, at all, really, if you're actively also making the guy you like sad? It seems like a bum deal, man, and it's only natural that she wants to stop doing it by the halfway point in the next episode. It's very fun as well. It's almost in turn the emotion of fear and uncertainty has been returned to Ahiru as well. She's very headstrong and self-assured during the early parts of the show, right? She's oh, I'm going to do this. It's a good thing. I'm in conflict against Fakir. He wants to stop the heart from returning. That's bad. But again, the slightest bit of pushback here, and you in turn are also fearful and uncertain, It's almost like that emotion has returned to you as well. Maybe something to watch. Maybe, again, these emotions are almost reflecting you as well sometimes. I don't know, maybe it's worth more thought there. So I wonder what Drosselmeyer's plan here was, right? Because it seems that he didn't account for her just saying fuck it at this point and not wanting to be Tutu anymore. That seems counter to what he wanted to occur. So does he have control of which emotion is revealed at which time? Was this something that's necessary in his greater plan to make her feel like this at this juncture? Because it sure seems like his plan. I don't know. Maybe it's not worth considering. On to episode 7 now, and we're posing the mystery of somebody that asks a lot of questions, of uncertainty again, I guess. Obviously, again, this reflects the river, which reflects questions back at you, right? The river of questioning, the YY river or whatever it was called. YY Bridge, I remember. Yeah, I don't know. This applies to various characters at various points, which we will uncover when and if that happens. I don't know. We're not going to do it all now like I did last episode. Oh, I haven't really been noticing this. This is in the intro. We'll see something shining, and that's almost where the emotion's hidden, maybe. Because, I mean, that's like under the bridge. That's where the shard was this time, you know. Intriguing. I don't know. Yeah, keep an eye on it, maybe. Love, love, love this dream sequence to start episode 7 as well. Just, yeah, Tutu takes on the form of the villain, like we saw kind of in the framing towards the end of last episode, you know. A couple things to note. Love the silhouetting, of course. Utena, person. That's me. I love silhouettes. They're my favorite. The other one is that it's almost like she's been wound up all the way maybe back to that Nutcracker motif as well. Like it seems that, again, somebody's controlling her, basically. Like, I've wound you up, now I'm going to let you go and be this fearful monster pursuing Muto, you know, in like a scary way. Also building up the dichotomy between Tutu and Ahiru as well, leading to Ahiru's decision to want to cast Tutu aside by the midpoint of the episode. Really playing up the duck angle as well. I mean, the implication that you're just a duck that's dreaming of being a girl and all that other kind of stuff as well, that's playing into it. You will be just a duck upon losing this Tutu ability. This is where we have the Crow Princess, which, I mean, that's a very pointed title. I thought it was a raven. Is there a difference tangibly? I don't know. And we have our little, I don't know, piece that we're basing this off of. So follow me on this one. On the Shonen Blauen Danube? Excuse me. For it is the Blue Danube, which is a waltz by Austrian composer Johann Strauss II. Composed in the 19th century. And I mean, it's in the title, right? The Danube is a river, and this episode's kind of about a river. That's about as far as I go with their analysis, if I'm honest. I read the lyrics down here. There was some interesting stuff about mermaids, maybe, and I mean, tying it to other rivers as well. We had the Rhine mentioned. I don't know, if anybody has a stronger interpretation there as well, I'm all ears. I'm just wary of the river connection, basically, because bridge over rivers and stuff. I don't know, something in that. Not really much here about reflecting and questioning and all that other kind of stuff that, from anything that I read anyway. I don't know, maybe there's something, you know, background lore-wise there that connects it a little bit better. Like what I was saying before, this is her awakening from her own nightmare, which is interesting, and it shows so very much about awakening from dreams and what is a dream and what is reality, and blending that line and blurring that line. Oh no, my nightmares are coming true as well. It's interesting because, again, like that Princess we'll get a name, the Crow Princess, that's almost something out of your nightmares as well. It's almost like this, like, if I'm the dream, then she's the nightmare, you know, it's that opposite reaction. And Muto's the talk of the town, as we can see with our little dog friend here. He's very interested, of course. He hasn't been to school in a week, obviously very scared, but some of that, as we see as well, is just Fakir being overly protective, as he is wont to do. I love that the class did a report on Sleeping Beauty as well. We tried to turn that, you know, that performance that we saw from the troupe into like classwork, into schoolwork. Again, Ahiru mined on other things. She failed. I think it's interesting that Ru was very successful, though. What does that mean? What does it mean to be... Yeah... What does it mean to be like successful in your analysis of Sleeping Beauty for a character such as you? What is your transformation? Is your transformation an awakening, or is it a further, you know, dive even deeper into slumber? It's hard to say. It's very hard to say. Like, what's the truth there, I guess, is what we're getting at. What's fiction, what's reality with Ru? Good bit of subversion here. Normally Ahiru would very vehemently disagree with the whole Mary Sensei thing, but today she doesn't really care, to the shock of others, especially Lily. Like, she's just out of sorts, and we get that across in a pretty natural and clever way. I liked it. Ooh, cursed frame. Yeah, no. Put that arm down. We don't want anything like that, Neko Sensei, please. I think this was a suspicious time for this to come out again. This cuckoo clock with the 4 characters. It's, you know, in an episode so very much about change for one of said characters, the Raven present. I don't know. The once an episode shout out to the animation of the kind of drawings here on all the friend characters again. They're a riot. Oh my god, look at them. They're the best. I love these two. I'm in love. I love it. But as it turns out, they actually are plot relevant here. They thrust our good friend Ahiru towards the plot by saying that she should go over to the old bridge, the YY bridge, and just ponder a few things, ask a few questions. Rumor has it that the river potentially may talk back. Ooh, spooky stuff. I like this recurring bit too, with you being all spooky and Ahiru getting appropriately spooked by it. It's again, no, like there's nothing to say really. It's just good. I think potentially is not the time to be tormenting Ahiru like this anyway, but I mean, she rebounds. She's fine. I don't know. It doesn't scar her for life or anything, but she's a bit fragile at the moment. Maybe just give her a day off. Once again, she's adorable. I love her. The mannerisms too, of course. The kind of flapping of the arms here upon seeing Ru, like unsure as to why she should be here. We'll talk about that in a second, but I also like her little song, like hyping herself up and getting less and less sure the closer that she gets to the bridge. When have we ever seen Ahiru be unsure about anything? Like it's definitely rocked her, this whole thing we have going on, you know. Now, this goes without saying to build up to a reveal later in the episode. Ru is attending the YY Bridge. She probably has a bunch of questions about whatever the hell is going on. And at this moment where she's delving deeper and deeper into her own psyche, potentially influenced by Drosselmeyer a little bit, is when the seed is planted and, you know, kind of bears fruit by the very end of the episode. Yeah, just, it's very intriguing that she's out here asking questions. I guess all it's to say is that she's feeling unsure, you know? Ahiru's very forward here. Obviously, we learnt that Ru-chan knew some things from Fakir a couple of episodes ago, and she just outright says it. Like, hey, you know that he doesn't have a heart. Do you want that heart to return to him? And then Ru's like, doesn't matter. What? I've always only had eyes for Muto. Whether he has a heart or not, it won't change the fact that I love him. But that's not what the problem is. The problem is that he mightn't love you, and that's what you're scared about. You'd like him to be this almost husk, this manipulatable person, because it allows safety for you, you know? It allows your feelings not to be hurt. And I'll continue to love him. I'm still far from having loved him enough. It's almost like throwing down the gauntlet a little bit. Like, hey, don't you... I know you may be sneaking in here. Don't do anything of the sort. Now, question. By the end of proceedings here, because, I mean, obviously you now know that she has a alter ego. Ahiru knows that Ru's two people. Does Ru know that? Or is she a little bit all fucked up? It seems like she didn't really know what was going on. At least Ru didn't, but the other might. The other side. I don't know, because, like, her throwing down the gauntlet to you a little bit makes some sense. She's a little bit trepidatious about Ahiru and her involvement with Muto. But she doesn't know that you're also Tutu. So that doesn't... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's more of a proclamation to herself that she isn't going to take this lying down, that she has to do something. I think it's very interesting that we happen upon the scene and that Ru's like, nope, change my mind. I'm actually not going to do any reflection here. I think that she already had. I think that she's lying a little bit. Because even at this point, we get this cut here as she like touches her like little gem. We see like that raven imagery and Muto being so very afraid and being killed. Like, and that's the transition into Muto still having nightmares about, like, getting that emotion back. It's interesting that, again, like, we get fear back, we get, like, uncertainty back, and he starts having nightmares about the raven. That's intriguing. And once again, like Ahiru touching her gemstone and it kind of activating that too. Like, it's all tied in. This is the 7th straight episode of Fakir being kind of, I mean, you know... A little bit. Taking him to a secluded safe house all alone, taking care of him, neglecting everybody else, just, you know, only focus on Muto. Like, I mean, you could certainly make that interpretation. That's all I'll keep saying. And once again, the shippers, the Fujos and the like, they're probably just lapping it up. They're loving it. Back with Ahiru and she's making that decision, right? So both Fakir and Ru say he's better off without having a heart, right? They don't advocate for him having a heart anyway. They seem to know what's going on. They seem really switched on. And yeah, if what I'm doing isn't making Muto happy, which is the overall goal, you know, if bringing him these emotions isn't bringing joy to his life, then it's meaningless. So why am I doing all this stuff? Let me cast aside this gem. If I return this, I'd go back to being a bird. So if I just stay a girl, would that be sort of dishonest? It would, wouldn't it? Anyway, I like the gears here kind of grinding to a halt. I thought that was very... Like, it's like the gears of the story, essentially, right? They're just slowing down. He's trying to get them back moving again, that being Drosselmeyer greasing the wheels and isn't quite successful enough. I don't know. Put yourself in Drosselmeyer's shoes, right? He's writing this story. It doesn't have a conclusion yet. He dies. It's obviously, you know, this lack of closure and this lack of any kind of conclusion there is like sending him like loopy. He somehow does some magic BS somehow to like keep the story going from beyond the grave and like blend fiction and reality and whatever else. And now it seems like I'm going to fail once again. It seems like I'm almost going to die once over again. My legacy is going to be finished right here with a girl just tossing the gem aside, tossing the power I gave her aside. Of course he can't let it end here, and of course he's going to go to drastic means. But again, I love all the dialogue, I love all the fourth wall-y stuff here. A character in a story would never say they're going to end things at a spot like this. He's right. Normally there is something in a story that would prevent a character from running away at this point, especially the protagonist. He just has to invent that himself. He has to become the own... Like, he has to create the motivation in his own story to make her want to keep being Tutu, you know? And again, he almost, like, uses the Raven, in my view, as almost, like, a last resort. Like, he couldn't... Like, he tried to go and just talk to her and freeze time and convince her in the here and now. Wasn't able to. He's also got that shit on, though, too. He's fashionable, for sure. He tried to do that. Didn't work. I have to get the Raven. I have to, like, damselify Muto some more. You know, Tutu, you can't quit. Ahiru, you can't quit if there's going to be somebody worse that's going to be doing evil things to Muto, right? You have to then stand up and be the hero. We need a villain, essentially. And he's so very efficient, using characters that he already has in the story. Very, very smart. Another interesting thing to note here, do love this effect, and its kind of crown effect, and Drosselmeyer popping out, and that's all wonderful. Drosselmeyer does mention that there mightn't be, you know, many times that he can do this again, that he can pause time and have a talk with Ahiru. Like, we have to use that almost like sparingly. So again, maybe things will get out of hand and he'll need to, you know, limit the times that he's talking to her and trying to fix things, you know. This interaction here is in contrast to the first time we meet him, obviously. Ahiru is a little bit switched on about who you are and what you're trying to do, so it's a bit more of a conversation other than just, you know, it's mainly just intrigue in episode 1, you know. Once again, do really like him appearing in shadows and under things where he shouldn't be, and it's, yeah, fantastic. And he just flails at him, man. He's terrible at this, at being like a convincing force to keep Ahiru as Tutu. Like, she keeps bringing up valid points, like, I'm making him suffer. These are like, I brought him fears and tears or whatever she just said. And the initial motivation we try to pin on Ahiru as well is like, okay, well, if you lose this Tutu thing, you'll go back to being a duck. You'll never see the prince again. Like, it's almost like calling Ahiru's bluff about her not being in love with him or whatever the hell, and being happy for him to fall in love with Ruchan. Is that really okay? Because then you'll be okay with letting Tutu go if you were okay with that, right? So then he wants her to say, no, I still want to be with him. Of course I'll keep the Tutu power. But in reality, Ahiru's just like, nah, I just want happiness for Muto. And if I'm not bringing him happiness, then I don't want to do this thing. It's nothing to do with my crush or nothing else. Also, Drosselmeyer overplays his hand too a little bit here. It's like, well, why did you make me Tutu? Because it's fun. And then he has to make up some other bullshit about you being the chosen one. Like, no, he just thought it'd be funny. I don't know, he's a funny guy. Very, very funny scene. I just love seeing a character like this that's like basically omnipotent, right? Like, just struggling to convince, like, a mortal girl to keep wanting to use the magical girl power. Like, he's flailing, man. Like, it's like, Ahiru, you're the chosen one. You're the only one that can bring back his happiness. And then she's just in the process of chucking it away as that happens. It's like, well, no, it's not worth it. I'm not bringing his happiness back. And yeah, it all goes to shit. She throws the stone away, she turns back into a duck, and Drosselmeyer's left in the lurch. That's when he says, I'll leave the rest to you, and then disappears. Listen, he could be saying, I'll leave the rest to you, to two different things. He could be saying it to the heart shard that's in the water, where the, you know, necklace just dropped. He could be saying it to Edel, who ends up giving the necklace back. Or he could be saying it to the Raven as well, which obviously does the stuff with Ruchan at this juncture as well, and, you know, that's going to be the major motivator for her to keep being Tutu. Probably Edel, because Edel is the one that just, like, regathers the stone and gives it to her at the right time, so... Back with Muto now. Muto is mulling over his feelings and realizing that what he feels for Tutu is a little bit more complicated than just fear after the latest emotion, right? Like, it's almost something stronger and something, you know, a little bit confusing and, you know, opposite and doesn't really make logical sense. You fear her, yet you're looking for her? How does that fit? Feelings very close to love almost, which is interesting. Interesting for sure. Okay. Anyway, this is like the journey of reflection for Muto, where he reconsiders a few things and thinks that maybe having a heart and restoring all that might be okay. There's a full spectrum of emotions, and if I'm limited in them right now, you know, to just what I have, then that's sad. I would like to experience all the good things as well. I wonder if this is intentional. It's almost like in how he looks, we've opened up like a picture book and he's like popping out just a little bit. I noted we did some similar stuff in episode 1, so maybe it's something we're doing on purpose. Eid was very interesting because obviously we refused the necklace here, and she's just kind of like frustrated, and it's probably the first time we've seen her kind of frustrated and like not fully on board with whatever Ahiru's doing, so it was a different look. She's almost like pissed. I think that's funny. I don't know, maybe she isn't performing right now, put it that way. There's nobody else around, and she looks pissed. Does that speak to other times potentially she's performing for Ahiru a little bit? Do you really like her as much as you've been letting on? Like, what's the vibe here? I don't know about you. Either way, Muto jumps into the drink, which is, again, a perfect opportunity to see him, like, struggling and being taken away to influence Ahiru to want to use the Princess Tutu power once again. Like, I get the feeling that Drosselmeyer is just in the background here, just scrambling stuff on a page, just trying to write something to get her to keep wanting to be Tutu, to keep the story going. Like, that's what this all feels like, just continuously people just offering, you know, Ahiru opportunities to want to be Tutu again, you know? Because right here we, like, damselify him, right? But we also see, like, some Raven shit going on too. So he, like, disappears here. We go to, like, the wide. There's some feathers there, brother. Scary. And yeah, the YY bridge is doing its whole bit too, just continually asking questions of Muto that it just helps him to dive deeper and process certain things, right? Process these new feelings that he's getting. Just, like I said, it feels almost like therapy, like somebody's like asking him all these questions to delve into his psyche and figure out what's going on in there, you know? I did think that this cut to, you know, the eyes and the, you know, this moment where he loses his whole shit again was quite pointed. Like the eyes, and then, you know, it's almost like that's that point where his emotions get severed, you know? I feel like there was something I had to do. Was that something sealing the Raven and doing all that stuff? It's very interesting that we have Muto here just openly conversing with one of his own emotions. I don't know, it's a revealing episode for him. It's less kind of railroaded and guided than other interactions he's had with himself in the past. Again, and the contrast here being obviously curiosity's this emotion down here, the questioning of things and whatnot. Where again, you're so very closed off normally, so it's like the blues and the reds, the contrast, the opposite, it's all good. It's interesting, right? Because we tempt Ahiru to be Tutu again by just putting Muto in a compromising position. Like, he's going to probably die and drown and all that other kind of stuff, and that's enough for you to just, like, throw it all away again. I guess deep down you do want good things to happen to him, and you want to save him when he's in danger, and if you lose the ability, if you lose that power, if you lose Tutu, then you won't be able to, you know? And yeah, Drosselmeyer's all very happy about it. He's like, oh, hopefully you keep becoming Tutu. I love that shit. So yeah, Tutu once again saves the day. She does some cool, like, pirouettes and makes a whirlpool. It was pretty awesome. And this is when Tutu has her, you know, time with the YY bridge as well. You know, let's try to delve deep into how you're really feeling and what you really want out of this thing. It's like this group therapy session almost, you know? So it asks, why do you want to be Tutu? Because I thought that that's what was best for Muto. There are painful feelings like sorrow and loneliness, but there are lots of warm feelings like joy and love too. It was because I wanted to get those things back for him. I thought that you would be happier that way, because I never imagined you would suffer so much. This is when Muto agrees to come back with her. And again, probably... Again, he doesn't really know what's going on. He's bereft of information, obviously on purpose, but at least in this interaction... He's like, well, he's already kind of confused about Tutu and how he really feels. But he sees her, like, breaking down in tears, just wanting the best for him, and that's obviously convincing enough, you know? It's weird, right? All this, like, isolation that Fakir is facilitating is almost, you know, hurting you in the long run, you know? We don't isolation isn't, you know, coming out in the open and asking all these questions and learning things. It's isolation, you know? We're not going to learn anything doing that. We're not going to get over our problems. It's just really just running away. And then this emotion is kind of like, huh, that's weird. I thought you didn't like her, but now you're going with her. And that also simultaneously like activates Rue. Like at that same point, Rue's like, time to go. Like the cut of the music, she just kind of turns around, looks in her own like reflection in the window and sees the raven. And then, obviously, she does her whole thing later on. Like, that's stunningly good. I love this scene. Like, I mean, and we'll do a lot of that stuff. She's going to be a recurring character. Let's not blow our whole load on her right now. Like, we got some more going on. So even after all that, Tutu's still like, I'd still rather not do this, you know. I'm not going to do the Tutu thing anymore. I'm still going to keep running away. And again, that's when, you know, Drosselmeyer's like, nuclear option, let's bring in the adversary, let's bring in the villain. But even before that, Muto obviously has his pleas here for her not to leave his life, for her to stay around and keep being Tutu. Even if it hurts when I think of you, I can feel a small light coming to life in my heart. That's a weird way to say that, but sure. There's more than just fear. It's something even worse than, you know, when you say you're going to leave. I feel very lonely and sorrowful, like, don't make me feel these bad feelings by going away almost, you know? And it's almost, that's very confession-coded too, which again makes Rue's entrance all the more, you know, pointed. It's Tutu's literally here almost getting confessed to by Muto. They're meeting on a level. Of course she has to interfere. It's the only way that she's going to love Muto and be with him forever and ever. A very straightforward profession here as well. Restore my heart to me, Tutu. She can keep drawing back on this as like, hey, no, there is some part of him deep down that really does want this. Love the lighting here and the framing. It's very theatrical as well. And yeah, Tutu's changing her mind. But somebody's watching. It's a little bit scary. Ooh, very, yeah. You know how I just said that this was very theatrical? It's because it's Rue's point of view. She's almost seeing this performance playing out on stage in front of her, a performance that she isn't part of, a performance that she is just audience to, you know? But it's interesting, that's how fucking Ahiru feels every single day, man. You're just getting a little taste of her medicine. How dare you, Rue? Anyway. No, it's all very, it's fascinating, it's wonderful. And there we have it. She activates, she steals that emotion, and enters the scene. Very notably with Gymnopedia number 3, I believe? No, I guess it's just number 1. But yeah, no, a very, very famous piece. I mean, it has fucking 46 million views. Very, very famous. But I mean, as always, we're kind of running out of time here. So potentially leave a little bit of that analysis to you guys. I'm sorry. Obviously, it's going to continue to be like one of her themes. So like, we're not going to miss too much there, I guess. So on an analytical level, great, obviously, wonderful, hugely intriguing, a massive paradigm shift for the show, wonderful, but also just, like, she's very pretty, and I like her a lot, so we're all for this, we're all for Princess Kreh. What does she say? Princess Kreh, we're gonna say, I don't know, it's not rolling off the tongue yet, Princess Kreh, Wonder what that word means too, I don't know. But either way, she's stolen the emotion. She vows not to give you anything. I will not allow you to do anything. I'm gonna stand in your way. I'm a villain. I'm an antagonist to your protagonist. This is a story, motherfucker. You're in one. Get used to it. Now, very notably, right, the initial story starts with a prince and a raven in, you know, combat. Now we've got Princess Tutu and like a raven princess. So it's like they're rhyming. It's very similar. Just going to show that, you know, Tutu is the protagonist of this story, is the hero, you know. And that again, like, the raven fucking hates this guy. So, like, it's not going to work in his best interests. Which is interesting, because it's like possessing Rue, somebody that loves Muto, to do things that aren't in his best interest. Like, that doesn't help anybody. And yeah, we get these moments here where she kind of wakes up to herself and Rue's like, who even am I? What's happening? It's almost like she's possessed or something, you know? But yeah, I mean, she stole Muto. She also stole the stage lighting, which is interesting. Like, she took almost the performance away. She took the lead away from you. Very, very, very interesting. Now, this is intriguing too. Fakir then finds Muto on the floor and finds a feather and then says, I see, so you've finally appeared. How much do you know? He knows a lot. Because clearly he knows that you're the prince, Muto, right? So then he must know a little bit of the story about the Raven as well, and that he found the prince at this time, and that, you know, the Raveners did this to him, and obviously, again, you're very protective of him. You don't want anything else to happen there. I don't know, it's just, he knows so much. It confuses me. And yeah, then we have Drosselmeyer sitting back on his chair, congratulating himself, looking over to Rue, the appearance of a new seed of calamity, a deepening mystery, and to the duck, who chose the path of suffering and tragedy, goes an unstinting round of applause. He's just happy, the story's gonna keep going. And then we end on funny cat joke, I guess. I don't know, we're gonna stop it there, obviously. I don't really know what to make of the end there. It's intriguing, obviously. I love Rue, and I love seeing evil magical girls, of course, so that's great. But I want to see what we do with it. I want to dive a little bit deeper in, see how much of it is her and a real feeling of hers, and how much of it is the Raven just manipulating somebody else and preying upon something. Again, they're obviously building contrast opposites between, you know, Ahiru Tutu and, you know, Rue and Princess or however you say it. Fakir's so interesting too, man. What a show. It's very great. Intrigue everywhere. You will see me next week for more. I like it a lot, and I'll see you then. 2 more next week should be. Fingers crossed. So yeah, I'll see you then. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.